Hello and welcome back to Gratuitous Space Panels 2. My name's Ruth, and let's get cracking. Apologies, it's been so long between missions. I'm going to be honest, this one's a toughie. The reason being is we have this, it's really a two-prong attack. Well, it's actually a three-prong attack. Because we've got some fighters, and then we've got some frigates, and then we've got some cruisers and a dreadnought. So we've kind of got light, medium, heavy. And they come at you with different weapons. So it makes it really, really hard. The next thing is the score is very, very restrictive. So we've only got 40,000 budget, or 48,000 budget to play with. So I've made my fleet. Let's run through how it's broken down. I've got the two support destroyers that I've been using all throughout. They have long-range point defense and also shield support beams by 2. So they just keep the shields up for as long as possible. Then I've got some Venom Mark 8s. These are the majority, pardon me, point defense with some anti-fighter thrown in. Then we've got the Hammer Mark 4. These are our heavy hitters. They pack the multiple warhead launcher, which does some serious damage once we smash through the shields. Next, what I did have to do actually was I found that I had to come up with a more effective fighter design. So I decided to spend a bit more money and go with the sniper laser. The reason being it has really high damage and the hull damage is 100%. You'll see here that the majority of the things, like for example, the hull damage on a dogfight missile was only 70%. So I moved away from that because most of these are unshielded. So let's play it. Let's see what happens.
Enemy fleet detected.
And yeah, I think this is a good strategy, and it could be tweaked more. This is where I found that it's reliable, and I'll win every time. Let's just speed it up. Now, the first thing that we see, right, is I've got our fighters to deploy out in front, because what's going to happen, right, is here come all the little fighters, the little gunships. You see, they've got hull only. If they get in here, we're in big trouble. So the trick is to stop them before they get in close. And see, all of our launchers are going out, and they're being hit by sniper beams, by all sorts. You see these little dots running across the screen? They're the sniper beams. So they're doing their job. You see, they're just destroying the or the gunships rather as they come into range. Now the next thing to notice is these are all heading for refueling. They hit about here, and then they need to refuel. So they're not actually long-legged enough to get into attack range of our fleet straight away. So something I noticed was that by sitting it backwards a little bit, we could actually give ourselves a little bit more time with regards to the gunships, because they'll turn around and try and get back. Now, you'll see that our fighters have blunted the thrust from their fighters, which means now we frigate the cruiser with some destroyers supporting. You'll notice that our fighters get absolutely savaged here. The fighters are very much just to hold off the gunships, make sure that they don't get into too close and start to work on us. You see now we're just chewing these guys over. The amount of poke that we have out of the multiple warhead launchers is awesome, and we're going to get through them very quickly. You can see here our score is still very high, and they are getting absolutely ruined. So the fighter structures you see are just being decimated right now, because these destroyers, I reckon, pack a lot of anti-fighter ability. So once they get in range, they just chew you over. But the fighters are kind of acting as a bit of a shield. They stop the enemy gunships getting in close, and they also attract some attention from this second force that comes in, which means that we then we can basically keep them off our main ship. So you can see here that pretty much everything is at 100% health, which is exactly as we want it to be. Now the next challenge is the heavy force. So it's coming in, we've got 2 cruisers to deal with. Okay, the destroyers aren't really much to worry about, but this dreadnought can take an absolute pounding, and you notice that it mounts 2, what would that be called? 2 nose lasers. Let's go with nose. I know there's a forward. That's the one. It's forward and aft. Fore and aft, should I say. So 2 fore lasers. And these start to do a bit of damage to us, especially if they can range on these support destroyers. We run into a bit of trouble there. Now the trick here is keeping everything going until we can range on them. So basically it's just a running battle. Can we keep the shields up? Wow. See those shield hits coming in. Okay, so these are about to be in range shortly. So right now it becomes a matter of can we win that battle of attrition where we're getting hits in, they're getting hits in, but we're managing to keep our shields up while we're putting hits onto them. You can see that we've got rid of the destroyers, the dreadnought shields, while our cruiser shields are still up. That is important, because that means we're going to win the battle of attrition there, and basically we're going to kill it before it can kill us. So you can see that they've knocked out the shields finally, but we're already onto the hull here. So we're able to really get some poke onto this, and the other cruisers aren't having much fun. You can see that we're starting to get fire on the destroyer. Sorry, the dreadnought. Oh, take that for a laser. You can see the missile launches from our craft is awesome. Basically, these support destroyers are just doing what they can to keep the shields up while we go to town on the dreadnought. See, now it's starting to take some hits. We're whittling it down really quick. As soon as this dreadnought is gone, the fight is over. There we go. We actually took out a destroyer there by the looks of it. And see, we'll take this cruiser and that cruiser very quickly. Neither of them are long for the world now. And it looks like we're going to be above 80% with some luck. So this is how I beat it. It's a tricky mission, that's for sure. Like that's possibly why it's taking me so long. I just haven't been able to get a decent score, and I just kind of accepted that I wasn't going to get it under 30%, not without some massive revelation that about the mechanics of the game that I just couldn't come up with. You know, I was kind of waiting for inspiration to strike, and it never came. There we go. So you can see that I have scored higher than this, roughly 4,000 on a more, but I couldn't repeat it. So there we go. That is my solution for the mission at Krogox 3. I'd love to see yours. I'd love to see if you can beat 49%. As I said, I've already got it down to, what was it? It was like, it would have been another, what was it, another 4,000 or something. So it was like 19. It was like 19,000 cost was the best I could do. This is the one I'm going to bank though. So 49% is my score. I'd love to see you do better. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode where I complete the game.